So we're recapping some trades here on the equities. Just real quick, while we're still in, we got two open trades here. This was the V-shaped reversal down here that we were asking about earlier. See how you were selling off right at the open? Now you had a couple of nice entries here. See this area here where it started to bounce and you didn't check the low and you broke up? That was entry number 1 on the V-shaped bottom to get long on the Russell down in here. Of course, EMD did pretty much the same thing. They all kind of bounced down here. Here was the reversal on EMD. You can see you were in a downtrend after that sell-off, like that. And then she bounced. You had a little pause on EMD right here to get long. See the little pause when it came through the pivot and it just held it? And then it punched up through here. You could have put a buy order right there at the swing and taken that first pop. Now, if you missed that, Gary and I were observing the fact that you had this consolidation patch right in here before she broke. Right in there was it on EMD, and you could have, if you were conservative, you could have. I'm going to go. It's going to hit that. It's going to hit that target. I'll be darned. See where it broke out here on EMD? Right here. Look at it. Right here. See it? See we said this area right here? See how it took out? You could have had a buy order right above here. I had the buy order right here, and it filled it. I actually peeled off here. I should have let them all run, but that's okay. Got 8 more ticks. Going to hit the target.
This is one of those days you wish you left all 6 on, don't you?
Yeah, isn't that the truth? Took the target. There you go. Boom. Out of Roosty. Here was the consolidation patch on the Russell. So I'm out of the Russell. I'm done. Done. And EMD, I'm thinking about dragging that target down just under that pivot right here. See the extreme overbought 1/8 pivot? See it's going to get my stop. It's going to get it. I'm going to leave it there. I'm not going to move it.
Now, if you move it, you'll just give up more.
Yep. See how she popped right through here? See how you had the consolidation patch? And that patch was 1840. Remember we called it in the room? Watch this break right here, 1840. Had a buy order right sitting right there. It popped you for, you got at least 70 ticks on this pop right here. You didn't take anything all morning. This was $700 right there, that one trade. And you got 600 on EMD. There's your morning right there. Anybody take these, by the way? Yeah, Lee, I didn't trade crude oil at the inventory. Sometimes you get moved, sometimes you don't. After this stops out, I'm going to drag the NASI chart over, NYM. They look very similar. In fact, I could drag the NASI one over now. I know, Gary, you were trading Nasdaq, weren't you?
Yeah. NASI was very, very good. Matter of fact, it still hadn't taken out our little box yet.
Here was your reversal on Nasdaq. This is NQ. This was the sell-off early, right at the open. See how you got a little consolidation patch at the 2/8 pivot when she started to reverse, the V-shaped bottom down here, right in here. You had 2 pauses to get in here. And you could have easily put a market order in. Right in here you had one. Right here, this was the aggressive entry. And then right in here was a little better entry, right above this 0/8 pivot at 78.25. You could have put a buy order right in here. You would have been filled on those candles, hardly felt any heat at all. And if you didn't catch this little pop, you had about, this pop right here. You had about 15 minutes as this consolidation occurred right in here. See the little consolidation patch between the 2/8 and 3/8 pivot? Right in here. I think you were calling this out, Gary. I can't remember the level. It was like 86 or 85.50. Or no, you were getting in at the getting in at the pullback here, right? Right in here.
84.
84. Okay, so you pulled the trigger on the pullback, which was a low risk entry because you had very clear support right under here. So it was a very tight stop. That was a good pro-B entry right here. See it right under Stealthy? Nope, just got me on the stop. Just stopped EMD out. Now you're kind of consolidating around this pivot here. This would be, you could have a stop on Nasdaq. I'm not in it, but if you did, right here around this 94. Where's your stop? Are you still in this trade, Gary? Nazi?
On NASI, nope. As a matter of fact, that little wick did take me out.
Oh, this wick right here?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, remember I said I was going underneath that swing.
Right here?
Well, the swing you can see actually there at about 25.96, right there. Yeah.
Right here?
I put it
Nick,
nice and tight.
Just got you by a tick or so right in here?
Which is fine because it's run enough. I
Oh,
don't
yeah.
take any chances.
At this point, in terms of risk return, how much more are you going to get out of this thing realistically? 4 or 5 more ticks? Just bank the coin.
Right.
It's good out. Yeah. Let's look at YM before we wrap real quick here. This is the YM, very similar. Now, it was interesting because right at the open, I think 631 Pacific. Excuse me. Actually, you can see here that YM was by far the weakest of the bunch. It actually led all the equities down this morning. See this right here? Here's 620. So actually going into the open of the market at 6:30 Pacific, 9:30 Eastern, YM was already short. While the other ones were chopping around trying to decide what to do, YM was definitely was down as down can be. Now here's the reversal on YM right here. Just like the other equities. Right around 6:45 going into 7 o'clock, you get a reversal right here. She breaks up through this pivot. See it? Came right through it. You had a couple little pauses. Now you had to get in this pretty quickly because I'll tell you what, when YM bounced, she ran like just a big dog, straight up. And here's your consolidation patch. Now it was pretty clean. Remember when it was pulling back in here to this, remember what I was saying, 30, 27, 30, 930, 927? This is why we were saying that right in here. Remember? Watch that little swing at 27. Watch that little swing at 27. Watch it holding 3 ticks under the pivot. That was a good out, by the way. See it reversing now? See the market pulling back? Glad we got out of that. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. So here's the thing on YM. You could have had a buy order if you were nervous putting it right here. Well, first of all, if you didn't get the probe was the better entry. Low risk entry right as it came up in here. Tight stop right under 27. You would have only risked about 5-6 ticks. But even if you didn't, you could have had a buy right at the pivot, and it just popped you in on that candle right there. Right there. Pivot to pivot in the direction of the trend would have given you about not quite as much as the other trades. YM giving you maybe, I don't know, 25 ticks. Hey, a winning trade's a winning trade, right? Not going to quabble with 25 ticks. 25, 30, 60 ticks. Just nice monster moves today. Let's see what your Nazi's doing. See? See, that out was a good out. Right here. 96. It was a good out. Right back at it. Yeah, when you get these reversal patterns, this is the place to get your stop up tight and just get out of the trade. Let's see what our friend Mr. Russell's doing here. So glad I stopped out of that. Glad I stopped out of both of those. That was a good out. Right up here. Tight stops. Well, I'll tell you what. I am definitely done. That is it. That is the morning.
Yeah, that was a sweet day.
That was a sweet day. I didn't even expect it. As choppy and terrible as it was yesterday, I did not expect this at all. But when you see it, these big running days like this is where you make 65, 70% of your money, is on days like this. Even if you just catch the last runs. You know, if you miss the short, it's okay. You missed the first long, it's okay. Consolidation, probey, boom, up you go, 60, 70 ticks. Very simple, easy, good trades today. All right, we can switch back to you, Gary. That was the end of my summary, if you want to take it for the last 5-10 minutes.
All right. Yeah, we've got about, 10 minutes. Just a second.
I recorded this too, by the way.